successful play schools, and efficient teachers, they consider that make-believe games are very effective in order to build emotional and cognitive skills in the children. But most often, as we parents do not have sufficient discussion with teachers in those successful schools, then we lack the knowledge how this make-believe game works. And if we parents can adopt the make-believe games, then we can also bring those emotional and cognitive skills little better in our children. So I am going to talk to you about how make-believe games help us in building these emotional as well as cognitive skills in our children. It was 24th December. Little Anvi was sitting and playing various games with her parents. Suddenly, the father of Anvi asked Anvi, Anvi, do you know what it is tomorrow? Then Anvi said, it is today is 24th December and tomorrow is 25th of December. Then Anvi's father replied, do you know every 24th midnight and early morning of 25th December, which is the Christmas day, that little Santa comes and distribute gifts to small children? Then Anvi's eyebrow raised up and she looked to her father. Oh, is it so? Then Anvi asked, does Santa give gifts to each and every children? Then Anvi's father said no. Now pleased on them, and Santa only gives the gifts to those children. Then Anvi asked to her father, am I behaving good? Then Anvi's father replied, let's see, if you get a gift from Santa, that means your behavior is absolutely fine. Then what happens with this discussion? Little Anvi slept, and when she got up next morning, then she found a nice teddy bear is lying near her on the bed. Then she really surprised and looked around and went to her father and said to her father, see, I am behaving good, and that's why I have got this nice teddy bear that, as you said, Santa gave it to me. With this, little Anvi develops one nice belief that because of her nice behavior, she got a gift from Santa. This is the story of Anvi. Let me tell you another story of little Johnny. Little Johnny was preparing for his examination. While he put all of his efforts to do nice in the examination that was to be held on the next day, then suddenly little Johnny looked little confused and concerned. Johnny replied that I am little worried because I am not feeling good. I feel that I have not prepared enough to do well in my examination tomorrow. Then Johnny's mother was little bit make Johnny comfort and said, nothing to worry. Then if you feel that you have not prepared well, then let's go to God. Let's go to our prayer room and check if you have really prepared well for tomorrow's examination and not. Then Johnny said, yes, we'll go to our prayer room and check it out. Then mother took Johnny to their prayer room and said to Johnny, Johnny, I have got two folded papers in my hand. in one paper, I have written that you will be getting 100% marks tomorrow in your examination. That means you are preparing quite well. And another paper that is with me that says that you will not get good mark in the examination since you feel that you have not prepared well for your examination. Then Johnny said, that's fine, let's go to our prayer room and see what God is replying about my preparation. Then Johnny's mother put both the paper and asked Johnny to pick up one paper. Then Johnny picked up one paper and asked mom that, Mom, I have picked up one paper. Then mom asked, let's open that paper and see what is written. Then when Johnny opened that folded paper, then it was written, you will score 100%. Then Johnny asked, that means I have prepared quite well, as God is saying, I'll be getting 100% of marks in my examination. Then Johnny looked very happy, went back, started preparing again, and next morning went to examination and wrote the examination with great ease. And to his surprise, he has got 100% marks in the examination. So when the father was looking all these things were happening, then asked to the mother how it is possible, how come Johnny got that folded paper where it was written you will score 100% in the examination. Then the mother replied, no, in fact I have put both the papers where it was written that you will score 100% in the examination. So this is a kind of basic belief system that the human being work, and all of our humans. So to continue, this is the very basic belief system all human being we function. If we just go ahead with a belief system, then we do good. And so also, if such belief system is inculcated in our children, will be definitely create some good skills in our children. So with these stories, I would like to introduce a nice concept that is called ABC model. And this ABC model was developed by one of the leading American psychologists named Albert Ellis. And for each and every parent, this model can work wonder while we work to develop our children in order to make them better in social as well as cognitive skills. So going ahead, as this model is ABC model, each letter ABC talks about something. That first letter A stands for adverse situation. As we know, whenever we deal with various situations, we are sometimes come across with various adverse situations. It may be related to the studies of our children. It may be related to some social issues. It may be related to some friendship issues of our children. So any situation, if we consider that situation is not supporting us, then that is called as adverse situation. And on and off that happens with us, so also such kind of situation that our children may go through. So there is no individual in the world who is not having a situation that is adverse to their belief. Now, once this A situation is there, which is adverse, then we move to B. B stands for basic belief system. When such situation happens, immediately that leads to what is that belief system that interacts with that adverse situation. Belief system, sometimes we also go to our prayer room and pray to God, please God help me and take out from this situation. Little ones, our children, if they have this belief system before going to examination, They go to their prayer room, pray God, God give me good marks. So these are the belief system. Sometimes when you go to examination, the story of little Johnny, that also is coming out some belief system. Each one of us, any human being, irrespective of any religion, caste, or anything, we do have a belief system. And every situation is linked with a belief system. So that, according to Albert Ellie, that each belief system follows with any adverse situation. After this A, B, C stands for the consequences. Consequences is that when adverse situation is there, that leads to or a predominantly what kind of belief system we live in or we believe very, very strongly, that defines what would be the consequences. So this theory was developed a long back, but this theory has got huge value when we deal to develop various skills in our children. In both these stories that we discussed, you can connect the theory of ABC to each one of the situation from the beginning of the situation to the consequences. If I very quickly talk about this ABC in case of Johnny's story, Johnny was confused. He was not feeling very good regarding the preparation for the examination. But when the mother inculcated a nice belief system that God has agreed or God has accepted the fact that you will be getting 100% marks in your examination. When little Johnny heard that, little Johnny believed that since it is coming from God, then I will be getting 100% marks. And he just now lived with that belief. Then what happened to the consequences? Johnny got exactly 100% marks. So although we are putting our efforts, little bit of belief system can put as engine to our effort, and that brings the nice consequences to our efforts. Based on that, two things we develop in our kid: our basic emotional system. If there is no positive belief in this, then our emotion may go to little bit of negative. It could be anger, it could be envy, it could be jealous, that kind of things. It may lead as consequences if our emotional things are not developed quite well. So going further, with this system is in place, as we all understood what is the ABC model of Albert Ellie, then consciously, if we parents can create various games or various activities that will improve our child's emotional and cognitive skills with the basic background of ABC model. Then here, when we are just talking about this ABC model, I'll bring another mechanism that is called operant behavior mechanism. This operant behavior mechanism is called that it refers to some behavior that operates because of it is controlled by individuals. That's called operant behavior. And child psychology, when we develop the psychology of our child to make them better, we basically use this operant behavior mechanism, but we are not conscious enough to know this. So now I am bringing this mechanism to you as parents so that you can understand quite well, and accordingly you can create such opportunities for your children so that children can be better off in those skills. Let me tell you what happens in operant behavior mechanism. So first operant behavior mechanism talks about desired behavior. If we want to correct our children, one way we can do that by adopting this desired behavior. Under this desired behavior, one thing we have got that is called reinforcement. We reinforce some behavior in our children, and under this desired behavior, first one is called positive reinforcement. So positive reinforcement talks about the basic principle: do positive and get positive. When we inculcate through various games and activities, which tells to our kid that if you do good, then you get good. What we have seen in the first story of Anvi, then that was an example of positive reinforcement. When that belief was given to the child, if your behavior is going to be good, definitely you are going to get good things. So if we know all these things and we do most of the times, but if we do that consciously, then the effect of this desired behavior in our children is definitely going to be good. So that is called positive reinforcement, because we are reinforcing this behavior in our child with a positive approach towards it. Second one under desired behavior is called negative reinforcement. Negative reinforcement under desired behavior is that if the child is doing something negative and we parents to correct them, then here we adopt some technique that is called negative reinforcement. What we do under that, if the child is doing something negative and the moment child is changing that behavior through various games, of course we'll discuss that how the games can be played or how the games can be worked out. In that case, the moment child shows good behavior or changes that negative behavior, then we parents are giving something back to the child which was taken out from the child because of that bad behavior. So that is called a negative reinforcement. And negative reinforcement, why it is called? Because if for negative behavior some reinforcement is done from the parents, and in that case we take out something and give back something to the child when the child is having a better behavior. And second part, and this is very important for parents to understand, most of the times we follow this unwanted behavior, and under unwanted behavior similar two things are there, and if we change this behavior from unwanted to desired behavior, then we can create wonders in our children. Number one, what we do under unwanted behavior is positive punishment. What we do under positive punishment, we remove something which the child feels the child is privileged under positive punishment. For example, if the child is very much attached to a mobile phone, and if the child is not reading, then what we do, we simply take out the mobile from the child. We feel as parents we are doing right thing, but what happens, a negative belief system is built in the child. That means child will start resistance behavior, child will be showing a little bit of anger while such kind of positive punishment is done. But definitely such positive punishment is not good as compared to negative reinforcement. If we do negative reinforcement, that is definitely better than this positive punishment. Next one is called negative punishment. Negative punishment, when it happens, if the child is already disturbed, if the child is already worried, and over that, if we scold the child, if we punish the child for wrong behaviors, then that becomes a kind of additional burden on the child. Imagine if little Johnny was worried about the preparation of the examination tomorrow. In spite of that positive reinforcement, if the mother would have scolded the child that you are not studying good to do better marks and other children they are just doing good, then that would have been an example of negative punishment. So we parents are oscillating between this desired behavior and unwanted behavior, but 80% or more parents, they unknowingly look towards this unwanted behavior either by giving positive punishment or adopting a negative punishment to the child. And while we do this positive or negative punishment, then we create some negative beliefs in our child, and child will be more negative in the approach as the child will grow up. On the other hand, if the reinforcement, whether that's a positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement happens, then the child will be developing some positive beliefs, and that can lead to a positive approach of the child when the child will grow. Now going further, if we have positive make-believe, then that will lead to this desired behavior. And if we'll be having a false or negative make-believe, that will lead to the punishment kind of things. And both are related to each other. Negative make-believe will lead or connect to the unwanted behavior, and positive make-believe that will lead to desired or wanted behavior in the child. Then we'll just go to have some game, as we said, that how we can play the make-believe games in our home with our child. So I'll give you one example. Last time, some point of time, we were talking about if we want to make a paper boat. So how we can inculcate that positive make-believe in our child, we can just have a look through one activity that we can do at home, making a paper boat. What we do first is that we'll keep different papers, different sized paper in one part of our house. The paper size could be A5 paper, which is normal small paper. Then A4 size paper, little bigger paper. A3 paper is little further bigger paper. We'll keep these three papers at some place at home. Then we'll be asking the child pick up any one paper to make a paper boat. That's what we do most of the times. And before that, as I said, you can ask your child, that child can check out how to make the paper boats. Then now what we need to check as parents, we'll check which paper that our child is picking up to make this paper boat. Most of the time, when we do various activity in our child, then generally we pick up a small size paper to do a paper boat. Then what happens in the process, child develops a limiting false belief that paper boats can be made with this kind of small paper. So if the child is picking up the same small sized paper, then there is a role for us to play, that we'll have to change that belief system in the child, which is limited by small size paper. The child can also pick up the bigger size paper to make the paper boat. And that's where we as parents can inculcate the positive make-believe, that the child can have the belief system, even though the size of paper is very big and the child is very small, still the child can make a boat by using such a big paper. And let him enjoy doing the boat in a bigger paper. So that's what we are just bringing, that belief in the child that yes, you can use bigger paper to make the boat, and let the child enjoy doing that paper boat. And similar kind of things. For example, I'll tell you a little bit of further example. If the child is not eating, or child is creating problem while eating or while studying, then we may say that okay, let me ask the police guy come and beat you if you are not eating or not studying quite well. Unconsciously we are making this statement, but what happens, child develops that belief system. When the child is developing this belief system, it's a kind of a negative reinforcement. So when this reinforcement happens, child develops this negative belief that if I do something wrong, somebody will come and beat me out. And sometimes also say that, oh, don't go to that dark room, there is a ghost inside. We say to our child, but what happens, the belief system in the child will develop unnecessary wrong and false belief system, which will sit in the child's mind in the cognitive skill development process, that there will be a ghost if any room is dark. So let's be conscious, make sure that we develop this positive belief system in our child. So anything and everything is possible if we can do these things at least up to 6 years of age of the child. When the child is completing at least the UKG standard and going to the standard 1, this kind of skill will really create wonders while the child will grow up and pick up the various difficulties in the society to deal with. So to continue as Eduvarate Kids, as we are just creating such kind of situation to help parents, to help schools, to provide such kind of scientifically developed games and other things. And thank you very much for your patient hearing. And such small tools, we are sure these things are going to help you to make your child much better in terms of various skills which can be useful starting from standard 1 onwards and later